The first question is, what is the importance of healthcare?
What is the importance of healthcare?
Yeah, like what's so important about healthcare?
It's important to care for the community.
Okay, so like
to take care of other people, to ensure good health for everyone.
Okay, and do you think it's mandatory for people to have health insurance?
I think it should be.
And why?
Because they would receive better care, and the providers taking care of them would then get reimbursed.
Okay, and do you think that health insurance impacts one's life greatly?
That health insurance itself?
Yes.
Yes, because if something catastrophic happens and you have no health insurance, it can financially strain you for the rest of your life.
Okay, well, I think that's it. So
Okay.
Thank you very much for your time and effort.
You're very welcome.
Okay, so what piqued your interest to research about this topic?
Well, I'm an environmental toxicologist, and as part of my field and my interest, we study how chemicals are transported into the environment and how they affect unintended targets like people or ecosystems.
And what is your opinion about the antibiotics being given to cattle? Do you find it as a big problem and should be stopped as soon as possible, or is it something that can be solved later on?
No, I don't think it's something that should be stopped. You have to remember that in the United States, our country, our population consumes a great deal of beef. We are a population, a nation that enjoys consuming beef. Beef can be a very healthy part of our diet when consumed in moderation, prepared appropriately, and so it's also a very, very important part of our economy. Of course, here in Texas, we know that beef cattle production is a major contributor to our economies, and so no, I don't think it's something that we should stop immediately.
So, are you aware of any serious diseases that affect humans but can't be cured now because of the use of all these antibiotics?
Not the antibiotics that we studied in our paper, but there's a disease called MRSA, which is an important disease or infection that people are acquiring now, particularly around hospitals. That is a very, very serious issue because we don't have the antibiotics, the tools to fight those kinds of infections, which all gets back to the whole notion of antibiotic resistance.
To you, Dr. Philip Smith. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
When people come in and that don't have health care, and they can't just pay right there like they would be able to with health care, right? Is that, how long do you think it would take for them to be able to pay all the bills?
To pay the bills? Wow. That just depends, okay? It depends on how long their stay is in the hospital and what the cost can be. You can have 1 day of stay, and it can be a minimum of maybe even $1,000. And then you can stay. We've had some patients without health care that have stayed here for almost a month, and it can be almost $1 million by the time they leave.
All right.
Okay? So, and it just depends on their circumstance, if they're not working, if, how long they can take to pay off.
And how do you think that this affects people's daily lives?
Not having health care?
Yeah, not having health care.
I think for people that don't have health care, they may not want to come to the hospital to get care because they're afraid of the cost, which will make them sicker in the long run. And then then they wait too long, and then it's a true emergency, and they could lose their lives. They could be disabled because of it. So I think health care is very important.
All right. I think that's it. Okay, thank you for your time. How much, what's your opinion on having healthcare and not having healthcare?
My opinion about having healthcare is, it's going to help you as far as you having healthcare, because your bank account will, not just to be depleted just like that in case something like an emergency happens. And if you don't have the insurance, it will deplete your savings and everything that you own. And you're trying to pay for this. So having healthcare is very important this day and time. It really is very important that you have healthcare, because it is there and it's going to help you not go bankrupt. And there's a lot of people out here that don't have health care, and they do go bankrupt, and it causes a lot of problems for their families. So, health care is very important to have.
Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome.